Welcome to another edition of the Unscripted 101 podcast. I'm your host, DJ Briscoe, aka HD, representing Beatback Music. So let's get down to some stuff here. I'm going to make some corrections, and I apologize to anybody who is offended. Actually, I'm not apologizing to anybody who's offended. It's not serious, but yesterday I mentioned when I talked about the Stephon Diggs trade, about the Bills receiving a second-round pick. And I thought it was this coming draft, but it's not. It's actually next year, 2025. Still good. But in essence, also, the news that the Houston Texans have basically not chopped up, but they've eaten up the last 3 years of his contract and basically taken the bulk load of money and his bonus and put it in this season, which would make him an unrestricted free agent at the end of this season. So it'll be interesting what's going to happen. Is he going to ball out, which I think he will, have a fantastic year, and Houston's got to make a decision. Are they going to keep him, which they probably won't give him the money that he's going to ask for, or will he sacrifice and sign a 1-year deal, which is team-friendly, cap-friendly, but also friendly enough that he's happy with it, with the emergence of Tank Dell and Nico Collins on the rise. So it's going to be a very interesting situation. And if Diggs does leave, Houston gets another pick. So it's very interesting how this is developed. But anyways, now let me get down to the topic at hand, and which is the Final Four. I got a chance to watch both games tonight. Congratulations to Iowa, Connecticut, NC State, and of course South Carolina for giving us some good basketball action. Excuse me. I just feel like South Carolina started off kind of slow. They did what they were supposed to do. They really did. I mean, shout out to NC State. They tried. They really did. If you watch that game, they tried. They put in the effort, but it just was not enough. And South Carolina going 37-0. 78-59 win against the 31-7, now 31-7 NC State. So congratulations to NC State for getting to the Final Four, and congratulations, of course, to South Carolina, which is a team I've picked in my two pools to win the national championship, both ESPN and, of course, Yahoo. So it's going to be interesting how that pans out. And, of course, in the other semifinal, which had UConn against Iowa, which was a very interesting 10 seconds, last 10 seconds of the game, which had Iowa pulling it off 71-69. Some very interesting development scenarios in that last 35, maybe I should say 40 seconds of that game. And then, of course, the many believe controversial offensive foul by Aaliyah Boston, which, but man, what a game it was. I can't even sit here and say anything, but it's just one of those things where it's just, when it comes down to the women's NCAA tournament, I gotta just say, like, it's not even, let me just get to this. We got to stop comparing the women's basketball to the men's. It's not happening. Okay, we're not going to compare the WNBA to the NBA. We're not going to compare women's college basketball to the men's. But what I will compare when it comes to the college basketball is the stars. Because the women stay longer, the women are there longer, the women are doing things, and they are competitive. They're really ultra competitive. NCAA women's basketball is able to develop stars. Where in the men's, the guys are here for a year. Some of them don't even play half the games, and they're gone. So with the women staying, the Caitlin Clarks and Camila Cardosas, and of course in the past, Aaliyah Bostons, and of course we got the Audie Crooks now coming in, and we got Paige, and you got all these players, all these assortment of players coming in, and of course Juju Watkins. They stay 2-3 years. they become stars because people recognize them and see them and look up to them and say, hey, oh, this is like the old school NCAA days where guys stayed 2-3 years. It's not like that anymore with the men's. Everybody's running to the NBA. That's a whole different topic for another day. So, but I think one of the things about women's basketball right now is the effort. It's just ridiculous. I have to praise the women for the effort that they're putting in and how competitive and how ultra competitive they are. The men's NCAA tournament is just as ultra competitive. So shout out to the men's teams that are in the Final Four. The Alabamas, UConns, NC State, and I can't remember the last team that's involved. Of course, Purdue, because funny enough, I picked Purdue to win the national championship in my pool. So it's going to be interesting. I got Purdue and UConn playing in the national championship, funny enough. So let's see how that pans out. Those two games are happening tomorrow evening. So if you get a chance, check out those two games. But when it comes to women's basketball right now, and for example, the NBA, it's not even, we can't compare. But what I will compare is the effort. I've watched a lot of NBA games in the last few years, and not as much this year, of course. The last few years, I've barely watched any. I don't see any effort. Guys just sit out games. Some guys feel like they should play a game well because it's a big game, or some guys sit out nationally televised games. Fans have traveled across the globe. Fans have traveled across the globe. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-hour flights just to get one NBA game, players sitting out. And then they write up something, soreness in back, soreness in calf. I think Giannis's excuse tonight was calf injury quad or whatever. And of course, as many should know by now, the Raptors snapped their losing streak and won 117 to 111 against the Bucks, which is very embarrassing and shameful. That's a whole different conversation for another day. But again, the effort in that game was pathetic. I'll be honest, the Bucks kind of looked lethargic at times. I had a chance to watch that game also because it was interesting because something told me today that the Raptors were going to win this game. Because the Raptors, even though the Raptors have been on this ridiculous losing streak, they've been competitive. They've tried. You could see the effort from the Raptors. So, it's just interesting how, sometimes you're getting your ass whooped for 20 straight games, but you're trying. You're not just handing the games over. And the Raptors tonight, again, they were like, nah, we got to try to win something. We got to do something here. This is ridiculous. And RJ, my boy Emmanuel Quickly, and Kelly Olynyk, and Gary Trent Jr., they all played, man. And congratulations to them for, continuing to put in effort. Milwaukee's tanking this season, folks. If anybody has the Milwaukee Bucks winning the NBA championship, unless if a miracle happens mindset-wise, forget it. It's not happening. They're not even locked in right now. And if you want to disagree with me, great. I've been involved in this game long enough to tell you there's no effort and there's no energy on that court. My wife always talks about effort. If you don't have it, forget it. It's a done deal. You're done. And I always used to tell my players, effort over talent every single day is my yes. I'll take effort over talent any day of the week. Effort is my yes. Talent is whatever. So if you could bring the effort in, look at Malachi Flynn, 50 points. I thought this guy was done. I thought he was done in the league. I thought he would just kind of waver in the bench for Detroit, and then they would just release him. Young man came out and dropped 50. So it tells you a lot about people and the effort that they can put in, the potential that they have as long as it comes out. So it's going to be interesting going forward how they do. But yeah, back to the women's tournament and back to the women themselves. They were absolutely phenomenal for the tournament. The games were exciting. The effort was there again. And I watched it so attentively. I watched that tournament. I was very attentive to that tournament. The women's tournament I'm referring to. And it was just, for me, I was like, oh man, this is crazy. So the evolution of basketball, period, has really risen. Women's basketball is not just good for women's basketball, it's good for basketball, period. So the women doing what they're doing gives basketball a general boost. And it makes it more exciting because, you know, you look at the men's situation right now and everybody's like, oh, whatever. But yeah, it is. It is. They're still competitive. There's still guys who are in college that still want to play, and they are. And you can see that. You saw that in some of the games in the tournament, and you're going to see that as the future holds, but as the future progresses and you know, comes into play. I mean, not everybody's going to be NBA eligible or they're going to be a star. You're gonna get guys who are gonna stay in school and gonna want to ball out. So it's a good thing. But right now the women's are just taking over. They're not taking over talent wise. They're taking over effort wise. Effort. And if you think that I'm wrong about effort, just watch the games. The evidence is there. The NCAA tournament, yes, everybody's gonna play hard. It's one and done. If you want to be lackadaisical or lazy, sure you can. You'll be gone in a second. You'll be on that school bus back to your campus and doing finals earlier than usual. So, but again, shout out to the women for doing what they're doing and let them keep it up. And also, I just wanted to share this thought. This whole Angel Reese thing with people being very, very cruel and evil. Like, folks, calm down. She's a young woman, okay? And whatever she said or did or whatever after winning that national championship, so what? She's young. Enjoy the experience. Enjoy the moment. You're not going to get that moment again. You know, the way that she's been painted to be this and that and all kinds of nonsense. And some of these people are grown-ass adults who just can't just like shut up and just listen instead of talking over people, you know? So it's, and of course the media, they're dirty as hell, but that's a whole different conversation again for another day. So, but congratulations to LSU and congratulations to all the women's players this year in the National College Athletic Association, and whoever got their NIL deals, keep getting them. When you hear that the college football playoff board and TV deals, in a TV deal signs a $7.8 billion deal, go get your money, kids. These guys have been starving you for too long while the big boys have been eating. John Calipari makes 8.5. I'm not hating on JC. Absolutely not. He should make his money. He changed a lot of things in college basketball by the way he did business as a coach. So shout out to him, but other people got to eat too. So that's just my thing. Everybody's got to eat. So as long as everybody's eating, I don't care. I don't care. I just want everybody to eat. I want everybody to get their maximum out of whatever they do and how long they stay. And the rest is going to take care of itself. So, but folks, on that note, I've done enough talking. I know some people could do this for an hour, hour and a half. Like I said, these podcasts are going to be short, simple, and sweet. Good night, folks. Stay safe. Peace.